How do I tell you that if you have an addictive personality and you are capable of binge eating, binge finishing a show in 2 days, stalking your ex 24/7, and in general obsessing over things, you are a very lucky person. I'm trying to tell you that that obsession that you put into the things that you like, it's the same obsession that you can put into reaching your wildest dreams. What do you do when you like something? You can't stop, right? Okay, congratulations, because that's your driving force that moves you through life. Once you learn to direct that force towards things that you want, oh my God, no one will be able to stop you before you reach your goals. I'm not even joking. Most people need discipline, other people need motivation. But discipline and motivation fail you sometimes. And you always depend on something else. You know what doesn't fail you? That obsession that you have from inside. That powerful force that you're born with and that makes you so obsessed with that person, with that show, with that food. I was literally the type of girl that would glue her eyes on the screen watching a show, skipping meals, skipping life, skipping everything until it was over. That was my level of obsession. I would even be able to scroll for a whole day, play games on my phone without stopping, like actually skipping plans because I couldn't stop. My obsessive personality managed to throw away my self-esteem and my confidence completely last year. I gained 10 kgs in 3 months. This is how bad my binge eating disorder got. My skin was like, my body, like the way that I was looking, was not making me happy at all. And I reached a point where I thought that I was just designed to fail. I thought this was just the way that God made me, just to feel everything in life. But the moment that I set the goal to lose the weight and go back in shape, I didn't just go back in shape. I got more in shape than I've ever been in my whole life. I was not like other people that have discipline. I was doing the things with my whole soul. I was starting every morning by looking at my goal in my phone, and I would get up and get everything that needed to be done at every cost. I'm not talking about the obsession of eating disorder. I was so goal oriented every single day for 6 months. Nothing could distract me from my goal. No social event, no party, no job, no exception, nothing. This is how I was. And when I started realizing how this worked in my head, I started to understand how to direct this energy towards other goals. If you ever binge watched a show in 2 days, binge ate, or obsessed over someone, you have this life force in yourself, but you are misdirecting your superpower. So trust me when I tell you that if you can get obsessed with your ex 24/7, you can also get obsessed with your goals. Now, I don't care what are your deepest desires, but I want you to take this force and to put it in them. I don't care how hard it seems for you right now, but your soul came to this earth, incarnated in that body with those desires because it came on earth to feel those things. I don't care if you're scared that people will see you fail, because anyways people don't even care about who fails, they only care about who wins. So what's the worst case scenario? You fail, they laugh for 5 seconds because that is what their attention span is these days, and they keep scrolling. Okay, you are still showing up for yourself while they are looking at you doing it. I started this channel because it was my soul's deep desire to speak up. I grew up in a household where I couldn't stand up for myself because then weird things were happening. At school, I was bullied all the years, even by my own friends. I was considered stupid for some reason because I was an introvert, so I'd rather shut up than talk to people about some things that I was not interested to talk about. So they just assumed that I had nothing to say and that I was somehow stupid. Well, so I started to listen to Joe Dispenza, Eckhart Tolle. I was a 15 years old, learning how to rewire her own mind to not care about all the circumstances. So at some point, I decided to use my knowledge and to put it on here and to actually do something for 15 years old me and save the 15 years old out there that can speak up. And I want a person to speak up for themselves for each time that I couldn't speak up for me. That's why I never say like, oh, like, subscribe, this and that. I'm not here to tell you things that you like. I'm here to tell you things that I wish someone told me. I sometimes actually write my notes on my phone of things that I want to say in the next video. And sometimes I start crying because everything that I say comes from my gut. It comes from the gut of 15 years old me that wanted to speak up so badly. So, are there still people right now thinking that I'm stupid and judging me? Sure. I also judge myself that might just join at this point. But I judge myself and then I get things done. What do they do after judging me? They probably judge someone else, like you. Does that opinion still matter to you now? Especially compared to your wildest dreams or your soul's deepest desires? Now I'm basically gonna handle to you the roadmap that I have to create my ideal reality. Let's start. You take a piece of paper and you write down the characteristics of your ideal best friend. A person that you could spend 24/7 with and that you could never get tired of them. Write their personality, their energy, the way they speak, their humor, everything. That's you. That is the personality that you were meant to have before they came into your life and they told you what is nice and what is not about you. Now you pick another paper and you write down some girls that you really admire their looks. And you pick some characteristics that you admire particularly and you write down. That is the avatar that your soul came to incarnate in. I don't care what you think that it's unrealistic standards or whatever. Everything is realistic with the right work, okay? So it's not realistic if you want to be fit, but you want to go to McDonald's every day and you want to sit on your bed all day, and that is not realistic, okay? But if you start putting in the right work, it is realistic. You can achieve everything. Don't listen to social media saying what is possible, what is not. When you direct your power towards your goals and things that you really want to achieve, instead of wasting it in things that give you a quick pleasure and then leave you miserable for the rest of your time, I swear everything is possible. It's only more comfortable for everyone to believe that everything is unrealistic, because then we have to come to the terms with the fact that everything that we want and we don't have, it's our fault because of our lack of work. Congratulations, you made it till the craziest part of the video. So after this, uh, I take the risk of you calling up psychiatric to pick me up. If it doesn't work, I can go. I go with them. Actually, I will just be happy to go if you try this and you tell me that it doesn't work. Okay, so basically, pick CapCut. Put some pictures of something that represents your ideal life and make a voiceover that starts with "Thank you, God, for giving me." And you start saying everything, but like with a storyline. So it's not like random affirmations put there. You make like a story of what is happening, of the goal that you want to achieve, and the reactions and everything in very clear detail. And you make this voiceover and you put also subtitles, so basically you see also the affirmations on the screen, and in the end you say "Thank you, God, for providing me with this life." And try to also talk with the tone of voice that you would say this to your friend. So like, I don't know, "I got this job," not just "I got this job," like "I got this amazing job," something like this. And then you put a music on top of it, a danceable music. And so now basically you have a song with your affirmations and this beat, and you start dancing to that. You start dancing to that every single day. Do you know how the emotions of hearing your ideal life, the body already synchronizing with that and feeling everything this way, do you know how much you align with that life, with that version of yourself? I still take the offer to go to that psychiatric if it doesn't work. And there is this last thing. I left this thing for last because I take for granted that you are very smart and knowledgeable. So I take for granted you know everything, but just in case you don't know it, there is this thing called neuroplasticity. So your brain is not like fixed. It changes based on the thoughts that you have. So when you have these thoughts and you keep directing this powerful force that you have into your goals instead than the things that you don't want for yourself, your brain starts receiving that same type of dopamine and obsessing so much over achieving the goals. So that's why these things that I'm telling you can make your life change from this to this, because your brain will rewire to get satisfaction instead from the bag of chips, from the body of your dreams, instead from the ex that is not texting you back and you keep scrolling on that chat, from a person that truly wants you for the way that you are. Instead of getting obsessed with the show, you will get obsessed with your own life, because your brain adapts to what you think. So if you do what I said, I can't wait to see your results. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time, if I didn't scare you too much.